Okay, on this last one about reconciliation, again, massive topic, and I'll just contribute a couple of things. One, a survivor told me, young man actually, he was only 4 at the time of the genocide, and so he's for 22 years wrestled with this idea with reconciliation, and he says one of the important things at the very beginning is to accept that it happened. I know that might sound obvious or even too simplistic, but I have struggled with this thing, the idea that these people should not have died. And for me, it's a little more removed when I say these people, whereas if you're Rwandan, it's my family, my sister, my grandpa should not have been killed, my niece should not have been killed. This needless death should not have happened. We should not have been abandoned by the UN. We should not, and you can come to all of those things, but to honestly, and I'm still trying to figure this one out, accept that it happened. Yes, it should not have happened. Yes, it is completely unjustified, but it happened. I think that's one of the early steps that a friend has shared with me in the idea of reconciliation. And then once we've accepted that it's happened, the next thing I would introduce to the conversation is the idea of shared experiences. I think shared experiences are hugely powerful to break down barriers, prejudices, even feelings of resentment and hatred. When we work together on a project, and there's all kinds of physical shared experiences, there could be shared experiences in a church, there could be shared experiences drinking beer together, I mean, there could be shared experiences cleaning up after a violent storm together. Whatever these shared experiences, I think they are crucial to once again allowing us space, the possibility of redefining somebody, because it's very hard to reconcile if we always simply think this person is a killer and I'm a victim. And while both of those are always true, and nobody should be saying, well, you shouldn't consider yourself a victim or a perpetrator. No, but we also have to realize that as life goes on, we are more than just a perpetrator. We're more than just a victim. You know, when we become a survivor, and then not only a survivor, but we start to contribute. We're raising children. I'm an uncle. You know, I'm a aunt. We become these different identities. And when we can share experiences, I think that allows these other identities the proper place in perspective of who somebody is, instead of simply identifying them from the time of the genocide. I hope that makes some sense. One other thing that I've learned from the people of Rwanda is that as long as we focus on what we don't have, what we lost, and that's prime, that's on the top of the list, so to speak, we're going to have a very hard time appreciating and then accepting and taking advantage of what we do have. So kind of in short, we don't have to be defined by what we lost or who we lost. We can be defined by what we do with what remains or with who remains. And a short story, college students in Rwanda for years now, I've been told, and I've talked to several, and they said, yep, we've been doing it. Not everybody, but they get to thinking about marriage and having families and kids, and like they're survivors. We have hardly any family members, if any family members who survived. Our kids won't have cousins. They won't have aunts and uncles. And so they started making families in college among each other, among friends and classmates. They're like, hey guys, we'll be brothers and sisters. Some even went as far as saying, we want Sarah to be the mother. She's such a great listener, and we want Good Hope to be the father. He's like so solid. He's so he's such a good we know he's always got our back. And so as they then did get married and had children, their children had cousins and had aunts and uncles. This idea that we don't have to be defined by what we lost. Also that we don't have to be defined by what our parents did. There's a lot there to unpack with reconciliation. Let's see, your last question, does genocide beget genocide? Let me do another video for that one.